to elevate.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Two Brothers channel. I'm one brother.
And I'm the second brother. We welcome everybody for another exciting episode of the Two Brothers channel. Today we have a wonderful, wonderful episode for you all. So back to you, Mr. Phil.
Thank you, Mr. Clay. Like Mr. Clay said, today we have a wonderful episode for you all. And this one is a very interesting one. And again, let's quickly do the usual stuff. Let's remind you to like the videos, to subscribe to the channel, to share the content, and most importantly, leave a comment. Let us know what is touching you. Let us know what, if you have any questions, let us know, don't be shy. Like Mr. Clay says, don't say, oh, I don't want to be the first one. No, don't be like that. This is a personal development channel. What does that mean? That means that you have to learn to be a leader, and leaders always learn to be the first ones to do things. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we were taught how to do is to be comfortable, to get into a room, and if people are hesitating to sit up front, you sit up front.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So again, like, comment, and subscribe. And more importantly, leave a comment. And like we said, we've got an amazing topic for you today. And what is it? This topic is, wait for it. Should we give them a drum roll, Mr. Clay?
Yes, sir. Let's drum roll it.
Okay. A bit of symbol there. Africa. Whose fault is it anyway?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Africa. Whose fault is it anyway? Let's look at it. Let's start from the historical context. Let's look at the things that has happened and things that we're going through from where we are now as Africans, whether we like it or not. And this will give me an opportunity to talk about what actually happened in Ukraine when the war started. I was the last person surprised when the war was coming and people were fearing for their lives. They put children and women on the train first. White children and white women on the train first. And then they excluded Africans. If anyone's gonna die, you guys can die. And Africans were surprised. And we were amazed. But let's look at it though. On what indices are you on top on anything in the world? As a matter of fact, if they want to look at us Africans, they see us as the highest liability indices in the world. So that was a stark representation of how the world views you. And I'm talking about Africans. I don't care where you are in the world. African-American, Africans in Europe, Africans in South America, Africans anywhere in the world, no matter dark-skinned, they're discriminated against. But whose fault is it anyway? Ladies and gentlemen, first thing we all have to learn is that the world does not owe you understanding. A lot of the things that we're talking about is on the micro level. That means as you as an individual, but then it applies to the macro level as well, because the macro level is just a collection of individuals. On every level, we're talking about finances. On the micro level, the African is at the bottom, and at the micro level, because like I keep saying, it's the same thing. Okay, so whose fault is it anyway? And you got to take responsibility for that. Okay, so we're looking at the things and we're saying that let's go into Africa now. Nothing is working in Africa. Everything that we need for our welfare, from cops to chairs, to clothes, to food. We can't produce for ourselves, but that's not where we started from, though. We're now a continent that is completely consumers. We're a consumer continent. And that's not how we started, though. But whose fault is it anyway? We can say, oh, it's the forces outside. It's the white man. That is like me saying, I am an addict now because the guy sold me cocaine and he sold me heroin and he's down the street. That's why I'm an addict. I'm an addict now because the heroin seller is heartless. He's so heartless. He saw me going on my merry way and then he sold me heroin. Now my life is ruined. Look at him. He's such a bad man. God will punish him. God will punish him. Wait till we get to heaven. Okay. Now, what will you tell me? You will say, Mr. Phil, yes, the heroin dealer is over there. Yes, the heroin dealer lives over there. Yes, the heroin dealer wants to mess up your life. But did you have to go and buy from him? Did you have to go and give him your money? Did you have to go and patronize him? Oh, but you know what? I don't have any vice in the world. At least I have to have some recreation. Now you're talking. Because Africa will say, oh, it's the West. It's the West. That's even those that even know. Because 99.9% of people in Africa don't even really know what's going on. They don't know that they've been designed to become a consumer continent. And that's the way it works. I told you the last video we did that economics is competition. Politics is competition. They're not there to save you. Are you kidding me? As a matter of fact, when they see you able to feed yourself, able to clothe yourself, their plan is, how do we make these people rely on us instead of themselves? How do we make these people buy from us instead of themselves? Because if they don't buy from us, we're not making profit, and we want to make profit. Okay, we want to sell fire extinguishers. We want to sell fire extinguishers. Where do we sell it? Fire extinguishers. You know what? Maybe if we go and burn their house, they will have no choice but to come and buy fire extinguishers. So, arrange with some people to go and burn their house. That's not fair, though. That's not fair. That is foul. Who are you going to say that to? Your house is burning. You need fire extinguishers. Is either you let the house burn or you buy. So what I'm trying to show you is that it's not about what you can complain to. You're blue in the face, foul, fair, whatever. They've been using tactics politically and economically for hundreds of years on Africa. And we keep falling for it. And we keep falling for it. Same thing, falling for it. Same gimmick, fall for it. They want to satisfy extinguisher, they will go and put fire on your farm, fall for it. They want to basically come into you, they will bribe one against the other. You guys will fall for it. Now, if you keep falling for the same thing, then you now say, like me saying that, I needed advice, that's why I went to the heroin dealer. Then you now say, but you know what? But we too not to be good now. We too need to we too have to wear the best designer now. We too have to drive the best cars now. We too have to have a private jet now. Exactly, and that's where they got you. because of your own greed. Now, a lot of you will say, but it's not me though. It's not me, it's the politicians. I made a deep sigh because everybody think they're different until they get there. Unfortunately, none of you are displaying, we're dealing with Africans, none of you are displaying the fortitude that it would take when someone offers you, look, Mr. Clare, I was in a barber shop and this scared me. I was in a barber shop in London a few years ago, actually, because since then I didn't go to barber shop anymore. I started cutting my own hair. Yeah, I cut my own hair. No, Mr. Clare, because I was going there, giving them my money, and then the conversation came up. And the conversation is that this is the barber cutting my hair, and some guys in the place. All of us, all Black Africans in the UK, arriving with different circumstances, some legal, some illegal, whatever, we're all there. And the guy said, I think the conversations went to the point where someone was killed, or maybe they hired someone to kill someone and everything. And I'm like, how much will it take? How much would they have to give you for you to kill someone? And the guy said, me, just give me 100,000 pounds, I'll kill anybody. I'm like, hey? I'm like, hold on. Then he looked at me, went, what? You mean you will not kill anyone for that? I'm like, huh? I mean, so let's get this straight. You're telling me that all it takes is someone to give you 100,000 pounds and you're ready to kill anybody, even your family, even your brother. He said, yes. I looked around the place and everybody's looking at me like, well, you won't? I'm like, no. Why would I? On the surface, why would I even kill someone for money? And I looked like I was the saint, Mr. Clay. That's how far they've worked on us, Africans, home and abroad, that we're little above animals in our thinking. The condition has degraded us to that point that anybody can walk up to any one of us, offer us 100,000 pounds. That's on you. That's last one mean only in Yoruba. Even some people are hearing me in Nigeria now and saying, hey, 100,000 They can mobilize a whole army against you for 100,000 pounds, Mr. Clay. Think about it. How scary is that? But whose fault is it anyway? Let me let you come in.
Thank you, Mr. Phil. You definitely came with all the guns blazing once again. The 100,000 pounds, like you say, there was some Nigerians who say they would do it for 100,000 naira. Don't even add pounds or dollars to it, you know. But I remember there was a book that we read many years ago that said, how much would you sell a part of your body for? You know, and it made me think about it. And I was saying, truly, how much would I sell a part of my kidney, let's say? How much would you sell your kidney? And you would think about it and you say, you know what? Or they say your eye. Okay, let's go for your right eye, one of your eyeballs. Not to both of them, or just one of them. You can keep the other one. But how much would you sell for your eyeballs? So the same people, those people are ready to sell their eyeballs for 100,000. Those people are ready to sell the parts of their body, kidney, liver, you name it. You know? And I was like, no, I will not sell your right arm. How much is your right arm worth? You know? So these things, I think, once again, you have to go back to what is the exchange? Because $100,000 or pounds to some people is a lot of money. More money than they can even dream about. That they're ready to kill, you name it, is dead already. They might even do it at a discount because they might not even like the guy anyway. You know? So but it goes to show the mentality of our people, the mentality of Black people. That's why you can't get Black people to do anything together. You know, you can't see, you know, it's like, how do you put it? A Chinese man is attacked and everybody's, you know, there's a big response. An Indian man is attacked, everybody knows there's going to be a big response. A white man is attacked, everybody knows there's going to be a big response. You attack a Black man, even in the place of work, everybody is zipped up. Everybody knows, nobody, even his family members gone will say he deserves it. What was he doing there? I remember what was it? It was one of the politicians after the NSAS, you know, came out, you know, Mr. Jagaband. What were they doing there? At what time of the night were they out there? Who told you they tell them that? You know, it's just like, what are you talking about? So, whose fault is it anyway, Mr. Phil?
Thank you. Whose fault is it anyway? And there's good news because we always start by setting the scene. We always start by setting the scene because we have to look at what we're dealing with in the eye and admit it first. Whose fault is it anyway? Everything affects everything else. Let's quickly go into history. Now, it's not that they came to Africa and our ancestors basically just rolled over and said, come in and everything. No. At the beginning, they did, but there are historical records of Shaka Zulu in South Africa. The Boers fought the British for many, many, many years. There, in Nigeria, there were some skirmishes that they did not record. But if you go into the royal families there, they still kept those stories alive. If you go to Dahomey, I believe that what the British did was they tricked the guy. The guy was not going to allow them, and they fought, and they could not defeat the guy in Dahomey. And what they did was that they now said they were going to have a trade treaty. They couldn't defeat him militarily. So they now had, that's even with superior armaments, superior guns, superior cannons and everything. They couldn't defeat him. So they said they were going to do a trade treaty. So as they were doing the trade treaty, they were building the army. And when they got whiff of it, I think I'll go and read it again on the internet, because nowadays, that's the good thing. In the internet, it's hard to hide things anymore. Okay. I'm not saying believe everything you read on the internet. What you do is this: you read, store it, look for correlating evidence somewhere else. Let other things come and confirm or disprove what you've learned. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't just take one thing and run with it. No. Take it, chill with it. Okay, I've heard. What have you got to say for yourself? Okay, I've heard. What have you got to say for yourself, the British? Okay, I've heard. What are the indigenous saying? Okay, I've heard. What is the moon saying? Okay, I've heard. Then create a picture. That's true education, but that's another thing. Anyway, so apparently what they did was that they invited the guy on a British ship to come and the guy said he didn't want to come, but they just said, you know what? I think they said they wanted to basically give him a royal tour or whatever.
They assured him of his safety.
Yeah, and everything. But once he got on the ship, they basically abducted him.
Yeah.
And basically, he couldn't go back to land. And they exiled him.
Yeah.
That's how they dealt with that one. Now, are we saying British bad, or British good, or British evil, or British clever, or is white man good, or is what? That's not what we're saying. We're saying it is what it is. I'm laughing because that's gonna be my third phrase, Mr. Clay. It is what it is. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Because these things happened before we were born. But I just brought those things up for you to know that it wasn't that your ancestors did not fight. And some even fought to the point they fought physically, they fought metaphysically. And I believe some people are even saying, remember when I said that you get information from here, you get information from here? I got some information that is telling me that even they probably were not defeated. Mr. Phil, what are you saying? Yes, some information is now coming now that maybe your ancestors were not really defeated. They recognized that what was coming against them was mechanical. They recognized that what was coming against them was not really natural. And we would do an episode on abundance versus scarcity economics. We're going to do an episode. We're going to do an episode about natural and supernatural and artificial. There's a difference in all those things. So there's some people saying that when your forefathers saw that what was coming against them was artificial, you cannot fight artificial with supernatural. Oh, sorry, with metaphysical. That's what I'm looking for. So what they did was that they went into your DNA and left secrets in the DNA that, okay, this battle, all right, we will have to use time to rise up to defeat this thing that is coming against us. And they may be right, because look at it now. The whole world is look at the world economy as it is now. Is this something to be really proud of? Really and truly, the world economy is eating itself. The world economy is imploding now. All the technology that we think we have, we're more unhealthy than we've ever been as a race because of artificiality. We're not healthy naturally, as in our bodies. Most of us living in the UK and US are the most unhealthy on earth. You know why? Because all the food that we're eating now are artificial. Maybe it should take a chicken 3 months to really mature, or 5 months or 6 months. In the UK, maybe 3 weeks. And we're gulping it down. We're gulping it down. Something has to give. Mr. Claire, please.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
let me chip in before I come in. And sometimes, you see, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes this is the first time Mr. Claire is hearing these things as well, and this is the first, not as in the first time, the way I've landed it, because we're not prepared. This is live, So when I say Mr. Claire, gagam.
Yeah. It's like, it's,
when do you want me to say it? When do you want me to start? That's the one.
I mean, where do I start? Where do I, I can't say, everything you've said there is so bang on. And you've probably lost some people already.
But it's good. We have to start from somewhere.
for those that need to hear it, they need to hear it.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that you think Africans or Black people are backwards, they're not intelligent, they're the lowest of the lowest. But actually, when you look at it, it's impossible for that to be, because we were the first on the earth. So, and as you have seen, even in this so-called first world creation, we lead in everything that we get involved in. Is it sports? Is it, I mean, you tell me, what is it? So there needed to be a different level of, resistance to the attack that they were bringing onto us. Because, when you're so powerful, you don't need to, fight toe for toe and we destroy each other. It's just like now, America and Russia, they're not going to fight a nuclear war, because that would destroy both of them. So they will just negotiate at the end of the day. And what are they going to negotiate? They're going to negotiate the rest of you. so sometimes it's not about, oh, let's destroy each other. It's about, okay, you know what? Let's take a step back. Let them think they've won. But the real victory is still there. But we will not, because we know your vibration and the level of thinking is very primitive, and we're way too advanced for you. So we will hide secrets in the DNA.
Thank you.
So so powerful, sir.
And like I said, this information, I'm investigating it, but again, it's making sense. That they looked at it and they said, look, there's no point us, these white people are coming at us with all these things. And okay, look, in Africa, that's where the pyramids are. Till tomorrow, they still don't know how those things are built. That is a big question mark, big question mark hanging over the world till tomorrow.
It's not just in Africa, it's all over the world, actually.
Thank you. It's all over the world, which is another amazing thing. It's in South America, in Mexico, in I believe China, or is it China and Japan? It's in what's it called? Antarctica, under the ice.
All over the world.
Under the sea. And they don't know how they built it. So, ladies and gentlemen, however, we know that Africans interacted with the people that built that. And I'm saying the people that built that because there's more evidence now showing that we built it, in the sense that we are connected to the people that built the pyramids. It does not mean that they're still here on planet Earth. We're going to do a program and we're going to call it Get Ready for Disclosure. Now, you think I'm saying anything now? Don't be surprised. We keep telling you, I hope I don't lose you now. We keep telling you that everything in the universe is about energy, vibration, and frequencies. So that means that there are frequencies, energies, and vibration that are beyond this level. So there are things called dimensions. Some people call it densities. Okay, when we do Get Ready for Disclosure, we'll tell you where you can go and find all this information. Thankfully, we're now at a time when you can seek for this information. You have to be a student of life. That's what I am. I'm not a student of a particular subject. No, I'm a student of life as a whole. I'm interested in life. And guess what? I'm now realizing 99.9% sure, let me just say, there's more life in the universe than just us.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
laughing because if you really think about that, if you really think, because everything you've been taught is that you are the only ones God created, and you just happen to be the only life on this small planet in a billion planets that can sustain life. You're the only one. But okay, let me just, there's no way I have to drop it. Do you know 2020, NASA actually now admitted and put it online. Go online right now and check UFO sighting, unidentified flying phenomena. NASA, no, not NASA, no. The United States government said, yes, we don't know what this is. So if they can say one exists, that means that these things are coming to visit us. One exists. You call them UFO, you call them aliens, whatever you want to call them. If one exists, that means 10 can exist. That means 100 can exist. That means what if 1,000,000 exists? What if 1,000,000,000 exists? And the technology is far bigger and better than anything on earth. None of our planes can catch up with them. They do maneuvers that it is impossible in the physics that we understand. The closest star to us, they call it Alpha Centauri, is 4 light years away. I believe if you're going to use our planes to go there, it's going to take us at least maybe, is it 400 or 4,000 years to get there? So you cannot use any technology that we have to get to Alpha Centauri, and that is our neighbor. Look, you guys are going to... Oh, Lord, this is very interesting. So that means that if the United States government is accepting that there is life beyond Earth with technology far greater than ours, that means that you are the low of the low of the low of the low in the universe. Maybe it makes sense that our ancestor put our rising up again in our DNA, because what we are finding out is that these higher beings actually deal on the level of DNA. They deal on the level of time travel. They deal on the level of ascension, your spirit, the deal of in the level of telepathy, the deal on the level of basically your higher self. They don't deal in artificiality. So maybe our ancestors knew something, because your level of artificiality, your gun, your robot, none of them will, they've passed all that. So I've said all that to say this, and this is, and now I'm wondering, I'll bring it all there. There are solutions. And the first solution to this is this: responsibility is the first solution. Africa, where we find ourselves is where we find ourselves. So I'm going to start talking about solutions now. The solution, the first thing is responsibility. Realize that nobody in the world owes you understanding. Realize that it is your economics and politics are competitions. That means that they're going to come and try and bamboozle you. They're going to come and try and make you make mistakes. And most of the time when they do it, the people that pay for it are not the ones there now. It is later down the line. Mr. Clay, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay.
I was just listening to you, and because what you said about our ancestors drop things in our DNA, which is frequencies, vibration, a lot of the things that we've been trained away from
Yeah.
being part of this world. Like you know, because I had to get my head around raising my vibration. You know, things that are wonderful, these things that are holy, these things that are, you know, better things to put your mindset on to raise your vibrations high. And things that are very easily that are bad for you, like pornography, you know, lying, fear,
Alcohol.
you know, alcohol, fear, you know, all these bad things will lower your vibrations.
Yeah.
And these are beings that are of a higher vibration.
Vibration. Yeah.
So you can actually raise your vibration to get to their level and start
Yeah.
moving with them.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can lower your vibration to get to lower level of others
That will appear to you.
that will appear to you because you're such. So you have a range in you that you don't even you just maybe just dabbling, but you can actually go high or you can go low, all in you. So back to you, sir.
And all I'm saying is that this is now an opportunity then, because as you can go low, so you can go high. And you see, there are beings and dimensions on different frequencies and different vibrations that can actually see your vibration because they have colors. Fear has a color if you don't know. Greed has a color. Enlightenment has a color. Okay? Let me tell you now, you can actually go it's there on YouTube. I think they call it vibrational colors or whatever. Anyway, but I've seen the chart. And fear is red. And enlightenment is purple. Do you get what I'm saying? So they can see you coming. You can't hide it. And that level, you can't hide it. Another thing is that they can do on that level that is already in your DNA is that they can communicate with you without words. And you can understand them. And guess what? There's nothing you can hide. They can see all the pornography you've seen.
They can see your bad thought coming a mile off. So it's not like I'm gonna pretend to lie to you. I'm gonna cheat this one by lying and pretending I don't really like him, but they can see it through you.
So I bet some people are looking at us and say, how do these guys know this? Again, it's back to frequencies, vibration, and energy. What energy are you giving off? When we started our personal development years ago, we did not know that we were raising our energy. And one thing with the universe is this: once you have, it will give you more. But you have more, you attract more. When you attract more, you will see more. When you see more, do you get what I'm saying? It's like amazing. That's why the last episode we did was follow your intuition, because the universe is the greatest teacher. I'm saying we're close to the technology that built the pyramids. They were here before. And they're coming back again. It sounds like Jesus.
Who said he left in the first place?
Who said he left? So the thing about that we're saying is this: the solution is take responsibility. Take responsibility. Know that this is where we find ourselves. Know that yes, we failed. Some of our forebears failed us. We've been tricked. We're at the bottom of everything. But guess what I say? They said the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Guess what? Maybe ours is 1,000,000 miles. But guess what? We have to still start with that one step. And then take responsibility. Who? You, me, us. From where we are right now, and start building. When you look around yourself in Nigeria, oh, you look at yourself in Africa, oh, look and say, okay, do you know that even if all you do is decide, okay, from today, I'm just going to be making my bed. Every morning when I wake up, I'm just going to make my bed and make sure that I don't leave the house until my bed is done immaculately. Do you know that only doing that affects the whole world. You didn't hear me. You choosing in your corner with nobody knowing, in Africa, in Nigeria, in Tanzania, in that people want me to start naming the country, Gambia, in in Kenya, in Ghana. You're doing your bed. I can't name every country, but you know where you are. South Africa. Just you making your bed and making yourself say, I will not leave my house until I make my bed. That discipline alone changes the whole world. Because that is a ripple effect that you can't imagine affects everything else. Because today you are doing your bed, someone can see you do your bed, they can do their bed. But guess what? They're taking responsibility for changing the environment, even if it's just their little bed. Then someone will say, then you could, it's not impossible. They could say, we're just gonna have a bed making before we leave our house every day seminar in Africa. Just that alone sends a message that these people want to change something. And on top of that, you keep, that could be, then maybe you look at around and you say, hang on, why is our street dirty? Why is everywhere we're living dirty? They start deciding to clean just your compound. Your neighbors can look at your compound and say, hey, so you are the only one that think you have a new compound. Okay, we two will clean our compound. Then two neighbors say, hey, so you two people think you are the only ones that like a clean compound. We two will clean. Then it's knock-on effect. Before you know it, the whole street is clean. They do that for a few years, because okay, they do that for a few years, and then they start getting a reputation that this area in this place is the cleanest. You say, how dare they say they're the cleanest? What are they doing? Which will be clean? And before you know it, there'll be competition between two places. Who's gonna be cleaner? Everyone say, hey, so only you two think you can have a clean. Can you see the knock-on effect? But it could start with someone just making their bed. And that knock-on effect can now get to a point where it's like, hang on, why are we buying everything we're doing? Can't we start making things for ourselves? Then someone will say, okay, you know what? I'll be making cups. I'll be making cups from bamboo. We may not be able to do it from anywhere, but we use bamboo here. Okay, they start making bamboo. So we say, hey, that's true, you know. Let them start making plates from bamboo. Oh, really? Can you make? Oh, before you know it, Africa's industry will starting again. But it starts with bed making. It starts with something little. What are your thoughts, Mr. Clay?
Well, it's amazing how, you know, we've been switched to focus on money. Everybody wants money. Wanna be rich. You don't know what you did. You know, don't care what you did to do. Even if I kill somebody, I want to be rich. Is it sacrifice? Was that what we need to do? Yeah. Going back to to go back to how we started, we want to kill somebody so we can be rich. Yeah, nobody cares. As long as you're rich, nobody cares how you made the money. And then you find out that money is not even real. This is something they're printing out of thin air.
Thin air. There was a time when money meant it represented gold. Now it's not even representing anything. Now think about it. Now they don't even have to print it anymore. It's now digital.
It's very digital.
Online. So that means they can just put keys. So right now, whether you like it or not, money now really is about who knows who and who endorses who. Because everybody now knows that you can just type it now. Mr. Clay, sorry, carry on.
So when it comes to something like that you actually, we can show you that it's not real. So we'll go back to, would you kill somebody for 100,000? For something that is not real. You kill something that is real.
Mr. Clay, let me actually, sorry about this. Let me just quickly interject. That means that if you're willing to kill someone for something that they can just type something, that means that they can type for a whole army. That means that they can type for a whole legion. That means that they can type for how? There's no limit to it. And all of you are just killing yourselves for something that there's no limit for. If that is not mental slavery, I don't know what is. Then some people will say to me, some people will now say, "Oh, Mr. Phil, what do you think? Are you saying you don't want money? Are you saying you don't need money?" I'm not saying I don't want money. As a matter of fact, with my understanding, money is influence. Money is influence. Money is value. I don't kill for value that I can create. What we're doing right here, sharing information, that this is valuable. Why would I kill to create that's what's coming from me? This is money, value. We did the episode, I believe it's episode 5. Believe it or not, Mr. Clay, that was episode 5.
Wow.
Money is value.
Wow.
So when you now ask me, can I kill for money that I know is a representation of value that I create? Are you kidding me? It's a ridiculous question to me. But how did I get to this understanding? I had to inform myself, because my opposition, my heroin seller, prefers that I don't know about this. Then I can go and sell him my life. I can go and sell him my daughter. I can go and sell him my brother. But who would you blame? Whose fault is it that I am ignorant? Whose fault is it that I don't know? Whose fault is it? The day I say it is my fault is the day I start liberating myself, is the day I start waking up, is the day I start becoming free. Sorry, I interrupted, Mr. Clay. Carry on.
Yeah, it is, you're bang on, sir. You're bang on. This is the day you stop all your excuses and know that it is my fault. It's the day that you start living life. It's the day that you actually, it's like a paradigm shift. So when we know money is not real, although here in Nigeria you think money is real, Abi? Okay. I pray that one day you realize that actually, hang on a minute. You mean this money that we are all chasing after is not real? So what's real then? If this money is not real, because I can use this money to buy everything I want, but what you find out is this. You being part of this program, we're gonna make you more wealthy than money can make you more wealth. You're gonna get more wealth than money can ever give you. And then money will start chasing you. This is like Mr. Phil says, I mean, right now, I have a lot of money. I have a lot of money. If I tell you how much I have, you definitely won't believe me. Because you will say, how can somebody so cute have such much money? Don't come and kidnap me. I'm just saying.
I mean, because they say, he's the money. Again, they're missing the point. The money that Mr. Clay is totally directly proportional to the value he is to his company that he works for and to his network. So therefore, that is his net worth. So again, it is the value that is dictating the money. Again, look at it. The governments of the world now know, they might not tell you, but the governments of the world now know that they are all printing money and they're all putting it in. It doesn't mean anything. So guess what they're trading now? They're trading your futures. What does that mean? It means that they're trading the energy in you. Even if they have to put you to slave labor, that is still worth something, because they will use that labor to create value that will create money.
Yes,
No wonder
because they
these
know,
things are not. Sorry,
because they know that labor, they know you're gonna pay tax. So they will make you go to work, pay tax, give you money. They will exchange your hard labor. You wake up in the morning, go to work, slave all day. They will take that labor. You're actually working, sweating. They will take that labor and pay you back in worthless money. Mm-hmm. Something that is just strange.
Less money. Carry on, Mr. Claire. Sorry.
Worthless money. Pay you back in worthless money. And then tax your labor. And then push it to the future. Say, okay, this guy is gonna be working for you for the next 30 years. Every day. And we'll keep giving him worthless paper money as a reward. That's the game you're playing. And the reason why, the more they print, the more prices go up in inflation. You look how much you used to buy something 10 years ago, like a piece of bread. I remember Snickers bar when we got to this country about in the 90s. One Snicker bar, I remember that Snicker bar was 25p. 25 pence. How much is a Snicker bar now, Mr. Phil?
I think it's 80p. I think it might be even more.
You see, 80, 90p for one Snicker bar that I used to pay for 25p. I remember that time, 25p. I used to 25p get a Snicker bar. It's now almost £1. The same bar, I think it's even got smaller.
It's even smaller now.
Yeah, I think it's even got smaller.
It's got smaller. It's got smaller. It's more expensive.
It's got a little bit smaller.
It's only in Nigeria that these things happen. Carry on, Mr. Claire.
So to show you how worthless money is being shown to you that it's worthless. Because why is it 20? Why was it 25p 30 years ago? Now is almost 3 times as much. Why? Or more than 3 times as much. Why? Because as we've seen, they're printing it out of thin air. So back to you, Mr. Phil.
And that is one of the things. So let's bring it around now. Just say, if you've listened to us to this point, we will give you a gem. And one of the gems is this. If you see Mr. Claire's chest, there's this logo there called Give Genius.
Give Genius, look at it.
That logo, Genius. Now, that logo is our introduction to you of what we call the abundance economy. Printing money out of thin air and charging people's labor for tax for money they printed out of thin air is the scarcity economy. Scarcity economy is what everybody's grueling under. And scarcity economy is where the incentive, that's what I'm looking for. The incentive to keep Africa down is in scarcity economics. We're going to show you how to leave scarcity economics behind and come into abundance economy, where you can now start rise wherever you are in the world. Because you now find out that the universe has given you everything that you really require anyway to live life to the fullest. The only thing is that you've been distracted. You've been distracted by your collective agreements. One of them being, I will go after money. That's a collective agreement. We will do a program episode on collective agreements as well. Okay? So everything that is harming you, slowing you down, keeping you down as a Black man, the whole world is prejudiced against you and all that, those are all man-induced. Now, the good news is that all those things, prejudices, racism, miseducation, competition, killing someone for money, all that is in scarcity created by man. And the universe doesn't play that game. You're not hearing me. The universe doesn't play that game. The universe plays another completely different game. And it is an abundance game that the universe says, you know what, Mr. Clay can be a billionaire. It doesn't stop Mr. Kikumi at all in any way.
It doesn't slow you down.
It doesn't slow me down. Mr. Kikumi can be a trillionaire. It doesn't stop Mr. Clay in any way. It doesn't slow him down. But scarcity says, no. If Mr. Clay is a billionaire, we're all in trouble. Can you see? It is mindsets. There's a saying in our language that says that the sky is wide enough for all the birds to fly. In the scarcity mindset, they say, no, there's not enough room for us to fly. You have to stay down. So you can now see that it's a switch in mindset. It's a switch in frequencies. It's like a radio station. What are you listening to? What are you tuning into? Okay. I'm conscious that we don't want to make this one too far, too long, you know. And so let's
round it up. Let's round it up.
Yeah. Whose fault is it anyway? To be honest, it's nobody's fault. It is what it is where it is. However, the solution is responsibility. Look no further. Look at the man in the mirror. What are you gonna do to change your circumstance? What are you gonna do? Some we tell you, read. Some of you go, but then you're saying that you like where you are. Then it's as simple as that. We're saying learn new skills. You're like, I'm not sure. Well, you're basically saying that you like where you are. We're saying push yourself, pay the price for the price. You're like, I'm not sure. Well, you're basically, so some people actually think that them not choosing means that they've not chosen, so nothing will happen. No, whether you choose to or you don't choose to, circumstances will choose on your behalf. Like now, I cannot choose to be a footballer now.
You can try and choose to be, but
I can try and choose to, but whether I like to, I cannot be a footballer now. You know why? My body has chosen for me. No.
Yep.
Too late. But I can choose to do what I'm doing now. So I hope, man, we can go on forever. Mr. Clay, over to you, and then we'll see. I'll see you next episode.
You know, it is amazing how, you know, you not choosing, you have chosen.
Yeah.
So the choice is always yours to make. The universe is so abundant that you choose to, whatever you choose not to, you've already chosen. So the choice will have to be made. And on that note, I'll see you next time.
Everybody, God bless.